Now, I find it really ironic that at this time of year, for those who like to celebrate the solstice, for example, as I mentioned, here's a time where in our hemisphere of the world that nature is at its quietest, at its stillest, right? We have more darkness than we do other times of year. And yet, have you noticed that for the most part, we are busier than ever and just going around frantically getting ready for our different holiday celebrations? And not that there's anything wrong whatsoever with the busyness. I mean, in that busyness, there could be a lot of joy, there can be a lot of playfulness. But if we get all caught up in the busyness of the holidays and don't take time to just step back and connect with that spiritual essence that the holiday is about, that lies within us, it's easy to lose sight of what the holiday is about in the first place. And kind of like Jimmy losing sight of what his holiday, getting the bicycle was what was the all-important thing. I hear a lot of people talking about how at this time of year that it's supposed to be all about peace and love and goodwill, that they're feeling so stressed and so rushed. And what I'd like to offer today is, in the science of mind, what we would teach is that we can have whatever experience we want of the holidays. Because what Ernest Holmes, our founder, emphasized is that the only thing that stands between us and our experience of God's goodness is a false belief of being separate from God, of being separate from that good that God is. If we really had a sense of that every moment we're connected with this divine love and joy and goodness, we would find a way to experience and express it every moment of our lives. And so my message today is that whatever you want your holiday experience to be, you can have that experience. It's about the consciousness that we bring to the holidays, our perceptions. It's how we greet the holidays that makes a difference. The spiritual qualities that the holidays call us to experience and express lie within us always. So no matter what's going on in our lives, I don't care if there's some real challenge facing you right now in your life during this holiday season, no one and nothing can take away your capacity to love, to care. No one can take away your inner sense of peace and what peace is, because all these qualities of God, joy, abundance, wholeness, they reside within us. They are our true nature. But we need to set an intention and be mindful of the ways that we're getting caught up in the effects of the world that might not be in alignment with the truth of our oneness with God. We need to be mindful not to get into Jimmy thinking. And I understand that, that's a very simple concept. Spiritual practice, spiritual truth is actually very simple. It's not always easy to apply it. And I get that it may not always be easy to apply this principle at this time of year because, holidays tend to be based on traditions. This is a time when we honor customs, ways that we've celebrated the holidays in the past. However, nothing out there in the world ever remains constant, right? We say God's nature in us is constant, but the forms of the world, because God's nature is infinite, God is reshaping, recreating itself in all kinds of ways. And so things out there in the world are always changing. And if we're accustomed to things being a certain way, it can be very distressing when those forms change. Our financial circumstances may not be the same as they were in the past. People that we're accustomed to being with may have moved on, or we may have moved away, or some of them may not be on this plane of existence anymore. They may have transitioned into the next life. Family dynamics change. People get married, and now there's a whole thing of with whose family do we spend what holiday. When people separate, it's who gets who do the kids go with. All of these things that change can create stress, but that's when we really need to get back to that spirit that essence of God's goodness, what the holidays represent, and recognize how those qualities lie within us and that there is a way for us to experience and express them no matter what.